want to introduce Karen Tenenbaum from Tenenbaum Law PC. Karen is an expert in all phases of tax law, whether it's estate, residency, and then some. She really is a valuable resource. And she's going to talk a little bit about the residency issues that a lot of people are facing and some things that people are not really aware of with some of these residency audits.
You represent a lot of high net worth individuals, and many of them have more than one home. So while they're on the golf course in Florida, they hear the rules 6 months in a day. As long as I stay out of New York 6 months in a day, I could claim that I live in Florida. But actually, the rule's a little bit more complicated, and New York State is very aggressive. And so you need to know that New York State can tax you as a resident under two types of rules. One is if you're domiciled here, and two is if you're a statutory resident, and that's the 6 months in a day rule. If you have a permanent place of abode here, and you spend more than 183 days here, New York State will tax you on all your income, no matter where it's derived.
Wow.
And that's for income tax purposes. But for estate tax purposes, domicile is the only thing that counts. And so you really want to win that battle, and that's a tougher battle. That's where's the heart? Where's the heart? And they look at a lot of factors more than the 183-day rule. They look at time, but not that 183-day rule. They look at your house. They compare there versus here. They look at your business involvement on a day-to-day basis. They look at your family connections, your items near and dear. They're looking at your pattern of life. And the taxpayer has the burden of proof if they were always in New York and they're claiming to move out. And so that's a tough burden to meet. We have a lot of stories where people buy houses and in 1 year they buy the house, and another year they renovate the house. And then they bring their art collection and their wine collection there. And then guess what? New York State comes in and sends them a bill for $250,000, and they say, wait a minute, I thought I moved. And New York State says, well, that's a creeping change. You did that a little over time. When did you actually move? And so we've been involved in that case, and especially during the pandemic, most people go October to May to Florida. When they couldn't come back, we've now used that to say they're there, and that's been helpful. And again, for estate tax purposes, once you change your domicile, you've changed it forever unless you change it back. And so your estate will now be in Florida if you win. Whereas statutory residency, that's on a yearly basis. Every year they're going to see, do you have that permanent place of abode, and are you here more than 183 days? And again, you have the burden of proof, and it's by clear and convincing evidence. And it's a tough burden. They're going to look at every little thing. They're going to subpoena your credit cards. They're going to subpoena your telephone bill, your cell phone bills. They're going to look at everything, your swipe cards to get into buildings. And you'd be surprised how intrusive it is. I want to jump in also and say that if you're planning on selling your business in New York and you're going to have a tremendous capital gain, you might want to, a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to move out before a big event. So we had a situation where the guy moved out in year 1, sold his business in year 2, but he didn't meet all the requirements. And New York State came in and sent him a hefty bill. And so you want to really be prepared and make sure that you're ready.
Yeah, being prepared and being ahead of the curve is the key to all financial planning matters, and that's why we believe you should be stress testing your retirement model and your financial planning to make sure you can handle the lifestyle, having 2 residences, being able to live the way you want to live, travel, golf, etc. So really, let's make sure that you stress test that, make sure you do this residency thing right, and make sure you talk to Karen, because you don't want to get caught like that.
I really think the key is all in the planning. And so if anyone needs to reach out and do some planning, I'm Karen Tenenbaum, Tenenbaum Law. We're in Melville, New York, and you could always reach us at litaxattorney.com. You could always call us at 631-465-5000, or download our tax helpline app, or email us at taxhelpline@litaxattorney. And we're here to help.